Romans 1. The wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness. The first chapter of the book of Romans serves as an introduction to Paul's letter to the Roman believers. In this chapter, Paul lays out the themes of the letter, highlighting the righteousness of God and the need that every person has for salvation. He also addresses the issue of human sinfulness and its consequences. Exegesis by sections and verses. Verses 1 to 7. Greetings, and Paul's desire to visit Rome. In the opening section, Paul introduces himself as a servant of Christ and an apostle set apart for the gospel of God. He extends greetings to the Roman believers and expresses his desire to visit them and strengthen their faith. Paul emphasizes the importance of mutual encouragement among believers. Verses 8 to 15. Paul's eagerness to preach the gospel in Rome. Paul expresses his gratitude for the faith of the Roman believers and their reputation throughout the world. He states his eagerness to visit Rome and preach the gospel there, as he believes it is a debt he owes to all people, both Greeks and non-Greeks, the wise and the foolish. Verses 16 to 17. The power of the gospel for salvation. Paul declares his unwavering confidence in the gospel, which is the power of God for the salvation, for everyone who believes. He emphasizes that in the gospel, the righteousness of God is revealed, imparting righteousness to those who have faith. This righteousness comes through faith from beginning to end. Verses 18 to 23. Consequences of human sinfulness. Paul says that the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men, who suppress the truth in unrighteousness. He says what may be known of God is revealed in them, for God has shown it to them. Paul emphasizes that since the creation of the world, God's invisible attributes are clearly seen, and that they are understood by the things that He made. This includes even His eternal power and Godhead. He says that because of this, they are without excuse, and although they knew God, they did not glorify Him as God, and were not thankful. Paul also said that they became futile in their thoughts, and their foolish hearts were darkened. They professed to be wise, and they became fools. They changed the glory of the incorruptible God into images made like corruptible man, and birds and four-footed animals and creeping things. Verses 24 to 25. God gave them up to uncleanness. He says that for these reasons God gave them up to uncleanness, in the lusts of their hearts, to dishonor their bodies among themselves, and they exchanged the truth of God for the lie. They worshipped and served their own creations. Verses 26 to 27. God gave them up to vile passions. Paul goes on to say that for this reason, God gave them up to vile passions. Even their women exchanged the natural use for what is against nature. Likewise all men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burned in their lust for one another, men with men committing what is shameful, and receiving in themselves the penalty of their error which was due. Verses 28 to 32. God gave them over to a debased mind. Paul says that they did not retain God in their knowledge, so God gave them over to a debased mind, to do those things which are not fitting. They were filled with all unrighteousness, sexual immorality, wickedness, covetousness, and maliciousness. They were full of envy, murder, strife, deceit, evil-mindedness, and they were whisperers, backbiters, haters of God, violent, and proud. They also were boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents, undiscerning, untrustworthy, unloving, unforgiving, and unmerciful. He goes on to say that although they knew the righteous judgment of God, that those who practice such things are deserving of death, not only do the same but also approve of those who practice them. Overall summary. Romans chapter 1 serves as an introduction to Paul's letter to the Roman believers. Paul expresses his desire to visit Rome and preach the gospel there. He declares the power of the gospel for salvation, emphasizing the righteousness of God that is revealed through faith. Paul also addresses the issue of human sinfulness and the consequences of suppressing the truth. This chapter lays the foundation for the themes of righteousness, faith, and salvation that Paul will further explore in the rest of the letter. It serves as a powerful reminder of the universal need for the gospel and the transformative power of God's righteousness.